And we're back. Welcome to another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for Adult Business Owners and Entrepreneurs, hosted by me, your host, Don Long. And we are in the middle of a series about my 7 step to 7 figures playbook. And we're on step 3. Let's get back a little review real quick before we get started. The first step is get attention. You got, you have, you must get attention. You have to get people's attention. And the reason that's important is because if they don't know you exist, then they can't buy from you. It's that simple. So you have to be able to stop them from scrolling and get their attention. You know. Now, with that being said, the kind of attention you want is you want attention from people who really want and really need and are able to pay for what it is that you're offering. Now, if they really want and they really need it, what we've established and what we know to be fact is that most times they'll figure out a way to pay for it. If they got to split it up between a check, a credit card, and cash, they'll do it. If they have to borrow the money, they'll do it. They'll do whatever they need to do to get it done. So, first thing you got to do is get attention. Then yesterday we talked about opting in. You have to get their contact information. You have to get an email, a phone number, an access point you know, because those access points do 3 things. Number one, they get you closer to a sale. Number two, they protect you from poverty, because they keep you with a list of people you can call, recall, follow up with that want to do business with you. So if you're having a slow month, you send out a text message, you run a special, you create a VIP, you create something to create some urgency for people are interested in what it is that you're offering. Whether you run a restaurant, whether you run landscaping, any kind of brick and mortar service industry or online, it works. Right now, we're moving into Christmas. So there's a lot of points that you can press on during Christmas time. Um, for one, the weather's changing. If you live in the Midwest and you do lawn care, you can switch to snow removal, leaf removal, um, fall cleaning because people are about to buy new stuff. You know, um, you could switch to moving cars, moving things that maybe people who had out during the summer. We'll come in, we'll move in all your lawn furniture and everything, and winterize and winterproof your house. You know, so again, there's points that you can press on based on the season. There's also points you can press on because it's the holidays, and you know that your customer base, depending on who it is buying groceries, is needing decorations, is needing to prepare meals. Example, if you're a caterer or a chef, you know that this is the time of year where people struggle mightily to make Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners and New Year's Day dinners. Why not take it off their plate? Hey, we'll cook it, we'll deliver it, we'll set it up, and we'll be on our way. You know, there are tons of guys who make a killing who are not business owners. They just hustlers. They're just hustlers. Deep frying turkeys. You buy an $8 turkey, you charge $50. So now the turkey was 8. The first sale paid for the oil, and now the next 15 turkeys you fry, the majority of that money is profit. And these guys aren't business owners; they're just guys at work, knowing that other guys want fried turkey and saying, "Hey, man, I'm frying them $50." So now imagine if you were, say, a caterer, you could do the same thing. You could hire the guy to fry the turkeys by the fryer, and he just has to stand out there over it. Make sure he understands all the safety pieces. You know, now you got fried turkey, you got baked turkey, and then you can make all the sides. Or there's still enough time for you to run a class, on how to make a cake, on how to bake a turkey, on how to make the sides, how to make macaroni and cheese. Because there are tons of biracial people and interracial relationships that exist now that didn't exist before. And those people They probably don't know how to make those meals, but they'd like to. This is the perfect time to do it. Again, if you can't run a class, at least shoot some videos. You know, why? Because those people are searching and shopping for solutions. You know, so if they're searching and they're shopping, then you're going to pop up on their algorithm. Why? Because they've searched something similar to the content that you created, which is then going to put you in their suggested content and give you an opportunity to close them and or get their contact information so that you could do business. So that's a quick review of the first 2 days. Now this is day three. Day three is get them to buy. You got to get them to buy. One of the things that I've noticed a lot when working with clients is that the marketers that they hired before me, and even sometimes the marketers they hire after me, do not care about sales. If you hire a marketing person and they're not talking about conversions and sales, and they don't want to sit in on a sales meeting, they're not the right hire. You know, because the idea is that we advertise, which is make it known, make people aware. B, we market, which is we figure out what specific group of people that we need to make aware. You know, is it people who really want a solution to Sunday nights football and they don't want to cook? Is it people who really want family dinners? What is it? We identify the group of people we're most able to help. And then the last piece of that is sales. We make people who really want and really need it aware that we exist and we can help them. We figure out what they really want and need, and we frame it and word it in a way that makes sense to them and put it in a system or a platform so that they can then see it or read it or hear it or whatever they do, whether it's a platform that's TikTok, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook. Marketing is not the platform. Marketing is what you do on the platform. So again, those two things, but the result of doing those two things correctly for you as a small business owner is sales. So if I have a marketer, and they're probably not going to like me for saying this, it's okay. I'll stand with business owners. So if I have a marketer and they're like, okay, well, we're going to put you on Hulu, we're going to put you on Facebook, we're going to put you on YouTube. Okay. So now the question becomes, after I've given them that money, how are we going to ensure by putting me on these platforms that I'm going to make that money back? Why are we putting me on Hulu? Why are we putting me on Facebook? Why are we putting me where we're putting me? And are we saying the right thing to attract people who really want and really need what I offer? Because remember, we only got 3 seconds. So if you're on Hulu, you got to get their attention within 3 seconds. If you're on Facebook, you got to get their attention within 3 seconds, which means that you better have a really good hook and a really good headline because that's how you get people's attention. You know? So you need to be talking about the things that they want answers to. If you follow the other podcasts, they kind of all build on each other. So we're talking about using SEO, we're talking about using Google and to figure out what the questions are that you need to answer because these are the things that people are searching for. And even then taking it a step further and going to Google Trends. So with that being said, you got 3 seconds. So we need to make sure that all of these things that we've done up until now are converting to sales. Because that's how we feed our family, right? You know, and if we had to ask what your motivation was on a scale of 1 to 10 to make sure that you have roof over your head, food in your stomach, and clothes on your back, I probably said some other. So again, now let's talk about how we do it. Okay. So there's a variety of different ways to do it. But the first thing we need to talk about is the difference between an announcement and an offer. Okay. Announcements and offers are not the same thing. Okay. I'll give you an example. You know, if I call somebody up and say, "Hey, man, I'm having a class on the 25th." Now in theory, you're like, okay, so now he's a marketing guy, so he's probably having some kind of class that has something to do with marketing. In theory, but think about how much work that is for a person's brain. This is Sadan. This is what he does. If he's having a class, this is probably what he's having it about. But even with that, that is still not telling a potential customer or lead that could be a potential customer the two things that they really want to know. Number one is what's in it for them, and two, why is this important to them? Okay. So now that person's like, yeah, cool, you have an event, big deal, what to do? No, that is an announcement. You know, come out to our food drive. We're having a women's conference. Okay, great. You can name it something really cool if you want, and I'm talking specifically to women. We have these empowerment conferences, and they are wonderful events. They have great speakers, they have great vendors, but typically the reason they fall short is because the hook in the headline, the title did not tell people what was in it for them and what the benefit was for them. So even when people are calling each other and telling each other about it, it's not sticking. It's not creating any urgency. It's not making a person jump out of their chair and say, "Cool, where do I get a ticket?" Because it's like, "Oh, girl, we having a conference." No different than saying, "Oh, I'm having a party," okay? Which makes people think that they have an option to go or not go. Now, in your mind, you think, "Hey, I'm inviting you. I need you to come." In their mind, they're saying, "Oh, you telling me about it." So you telling me about it is different than me wanting to go. Now, if you are an entertainer and maybe your name is big enough to where you could just say, "Hey, Beyonce's coming to town," that might work because it's Beyonce and there's a connection there. And people are like, "Man, the experience I have with them the last time or the experience I have with her music is enough for me to go." Because the benefit of being in the room is enough for me to want to spend that kind of money. But if you're a small business owner, particularly a female small business owner, you can't play that game, at least not at the early stages. Maybe if you get to a point where you're um, really well known and renowned and you have a huge following and you put in some work to where people know that there's a huge benefit as soon as they hear your name, that might be a little bit different. But right now, you got to be way more strategic if you want to actually start packing these rooms out. And the difference is, oh wow, I'm sorry, I had a quick little brain fart. But again, the difference is between an announcement and an offer is I'm actually offering to help you in some particular way. We're having an event, this weekend for women who are looking to lose weight, for women who are looking to grow their business, for women who are looking to look younger. So now you start to understand, like, okay, this is who it's for. Okay. Now we know who it's for. We know what the problem they have is. We know what the struggle that they have in solving their problem. Maybe it's they don't have a coach. Maybe it's they don't have a group. Maybe it's they don't know exactly where to start. So we can address those problems, and we want to address them for people who, if we had to ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated were they to solve it, they would be a 9 or a 10 or an 11, i.e., really want, really need. So when you start to reach out, you can then reach out to people who say, "Wow, this is for me. I've been thinking about this. I've been wondering about this. I've been waiting on somebody to solve this problem for me. Where do I sign up?" You know, an offer is me offering to solve a problem you have been shopping and searching for a solution to. You know, a while ago I was on a podcast, and it was actually Dwayne and I. You know, shout out to Dwayne, shout out to Malcolm. Um, and we were talking about the fact that he'd opened a smoke shop, and I was saying how the problem that his smoke shop solved was people did not have to drive as far to get the things that they needed if they were smokers. So if you're someone who, indulges in medicinal marijuana or recreational marijuana, or someone who hookahs, and you want to have all the paraphernalia and things that go with smoking marijuana and or hookahs, and or maybe some of the other tobaccos and things of that nature. Now you don't have to drive 20 miles because we put one 5 miles away from your house. We put one in your community. We put one right down the street from the expressway. We put one right next to the grocery store. So you can get your groceries, you can get your beer, and you can get your smoke goods all in one line. Matter of fact, in my neighborhood, there's literally a liquor store, a smoke store, and a grocery store within like 30 feet of each other. So you get your drink, you get your smoke, you get your food, you can go and go home. Oh, and then there's a gas station right there in the corner. So you get your gas too. But again, they built it for someone's convenience. They built it for someone's convenience. So now, not only is it convenient and solves a problem, there's a benefit. I just saved you time. I saved you gas. Now you don't have to go zooming all over town. And it's on a major highway on your way, right off a major highway on your way home. Okay. So not only are we going to help your problem, we're going to make it easier, faster, simpler. And if you've been following the podcast, you know that easier, faster, simpler, with less stress separates you from your competition, allows you to charge a higher price, allows you to keep customers longer, allows you to then take those customers and turn them into a self-scaling sales machine because they're happy and they're posting and they're able to give you a testimony about how well whatever you offer them serves them. Theoretically, if you were to ask someone, who went to that little smoke shop, what they thought, they were like, man, this is great. Ooh, man, before I used to have to drive all the way to wherever. Now, I can stop by on the way home. I'm home in 5 minutes. In 7 minutes, I poured me a drink and put my feet up, and now I can watch the Lakers. I'm extremely happy. You know, I was really frustrated before because the other place wasn't in as good a location. There was a lot of traffic, and then I had to double back to go home. So when you make it for someone and you solve their problem, it sets up everything else. So now, how do you put together the offer? You know, I started to give you the example, and now I'm going to finish it. You know, we know who they are, we know what they want, we know what's keeping them from what they want. Now, what is the solution? The solution is, hey, whatever the thing is that is keeping them from it, you make that go away. It's Thanksgiving. You're busy, don't have time to cook, no problem. We're going to show up at your house, set everything up, and all you got to do is put on your nice little outfit and get out your favorite, holiday songs, and everything else we'll take care of. Faster, easier, simpler, with less stress. Hey, the holidays are hard. I know that this is the time of year you miss people. We're setting up a group, that'll give you people to socialize with, give you people to have Thanksgiving with, give you people that you can talk to and share the holidays with. All you got to do is click the button. Now we're adding solutions, and we're offering the solutions in exchange for money. Okay. We have a group, join the group. We have a class, take the class. If you want the solution, here's what you're going to have to trade to get it. 39.99, 49.99, 59.95, whatever. Now, here's how we put that thing on steroids. So we take the thing that we know that they're looking and shopping for a solution to. We make a video about it. We make a post about it. We consistently video and post talking to that specific person because we know that specific person needs our help. Okay. So I'm saying we, but really I'm speaking to you. So you need to make the video. You need to write the post. You need to engage with your audience because you know that you're the best thing for them because you know that you can help them. So now when you have this conversation, you don't want to feel salesy. I get it. You don't want to feel like you're pushing on somebody. You don't want to feel like you're losing status. And, we've identified status as embarrassment, as shame, you know, ridiculed. So you don't want to be the person that's all you do is post. That's all you do is talk about your business. I get it. But if you're solving problems for people who really want and really need them, how likely are they to ridicule you? Now, people who aren't your customer, yeah, they're like, man, I'm tired of seeing this stuff. Yeah, because it doesn't benefit them to see it. Problem they don't have. It's kind of like somebody who's in a happy marriage, watching a bunch of people complain about Kevin Samuels. Like, not my fight, not my issue. You know, they don't understand. It's confusing to them, and they wish it wouldn't be on their timeline, which is why all your platforms strategically remove things from your timeline that don't have any bearing on your life that you're not interested in. So even if you're posting, the likelihood of people who aren't interested in seeing it and complaining about it is slim. Now, yes, there are going to be people who see your post and they're going to say some real slick stuff, but they're not trying to solve their problems. They're just trying to get on your nerves because their lives aren't fulfilled. Because if you're really happy, and I'm saying this because I want you to get this, man. I want you to get this so bad. If you're a really happy person and you're fulfilled in your own life and you're living your life, you really don't have time to complain about what other people are going through. You know, the people who have time to complain should be using the time that they're complaining to better themselves. I mean, let's just be honest. If you were on your way to the airport, would you really be throwing stones at somebody else on Facebook? If you're on your way to dinner, on your way to a concert, or going your way to the gym, would you really have time? If you were really working on, beautifying your yard or taking yoga or doing something edifying and fulfilling and enriching your life, you were making love. Would you really have time to post about somebody's business or about um, what the lighting looks like or any of that stuff? So, as a business owner, what I really want you to get is that the people who are complaining the most and the loudest have the least going on. The only people that should be watching you are the people who want and need what you're offering or appreciate and understand your struggle. Anyone else, they don't matter. So don't get caught up in the am I posting too much? Don't get caught up in the girl, why you keep posting? Why you don't worry about them. Because the people that really need it and want it appreciate you posting. You know, I was on Facebook Live earlier and we're talking about following up with customers. You know, a lot of times people don't follow up with you because they're embarrassed. They told you they were going to do business with you and then something happened and they fell off. So you need to understand and not let that get in your way. Reach out till they say don't reach out anymore. So keep reaching out, keep touching them because what you'll find and what I know from recruiting, what you'll find is that if you continue to reach out to someone and they don't tell you to stop reaching out to them, they're planning to work with you at some point. So it may take one touch, it may take two touch, it may take three touches, and a touch is just a text or a call or an email, or a comment, in the DMs or in a post. It's just getting you back to the top of their mind. You know, so it may take a few touches, it may take a few videos, it may take a little bit more than just one time. But if your product is good and you're talking to people who really want to need it, it won't take 1,000. It'll take a few. So now when you're shooting these videos, answering these questions that people are shopping and searching for answers to, when you're done, you hit them with an oh, by the way. You know, oh, by the way, if you are interested, and then you offer your solution. If you're interested in somebody coming into your house and cleaning it up and getting rid of all the dust and clutter so you can have a beautiful holiday season, give us a call at da 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 da. Click the link below. Da 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 da, which goes back to the opt-in, which goes back to getting that contact information. Why? Because that puts you one step closer to a sale. Hey, if you like this record and you like to buy the whole album, click the link below. Hey, if you enjoyed this content and you like, to have more content like it, hit like and subscribe. That one right there, I'm very serious about, by the way. If you're enjoying this content, please leave a review. Please hit the like button, you know. And as long as you're helping people, it becomes cats and milk. You keep putting the milk out, the cat will keep coming, you know. And you have to do this because if people don't know about you, how are they going to buy from you? I was on Facebook Live and I said, you could get one sale. One sale gives you two referrals. All three of those people buy from you twice. Now you got six sales off one text message saying, "Are you still interested?" So if you ask for the sale, you're more likely to get it. And I get that you don't come from sales, so you're kind of apprehensive and you're hoping that people just kind of gravitate to you organically. Fully understand what you're going through and what you're saying. And I realize that people who don't do business with you feel like they could give you advice. People who don't do business with you, who don't do business in the arena that you're in, who have not done business in the arena that you're in, cannot give you advice. So if you're a business owner and your auntie who's never had a business is trying to tell you something, take that with a grain of salt. Like, thank you, auntie. I appreciate it. You know, there might be some truth in it. And, if there is, cool. But for the most part, where is she getting her information from? You know, she's never run a business. Never run anybody else's business. So what you're doing probably won't make sense to her. Well, why are you in there work playing on that phone? You're not playing on the phone. You're posting. All you do is take pictures of your food. You're not taking pictures of your food. You're creating content. For people who are interested. You know, and the early stages of business. Because it's a podcast, so I want to give you some wisdom as well as some tactics and strategies. You know, but the early stages of business are just hard because you don't have any customers, you don't have any credibility, you don't have a track record. So it's really hard to be confident. You know, but as you start to have customers, even if they're customers who didn't pay you very much, you start to develop what is called proof of concept. You know, the first time I made somebody $20,000 in a month, they paid me $100. They got an hour of my time and a $20,000 return. Okay. Made somebody $1 million or help them make $1 million. Because again, I never discount the product that they sell and the work they put in. But my part did help, and that's coming out of their mouth, not mine. And whew, what did I get? Maybe 4 grand. But with every opportunity, I had more proof. I had more information. I had a better understanding so that I could then help you. You know, so every time I worked with somebody, even if it was for free, I gained something from it. I understood a little bit better how the marketplace worked. I understood a little bit better how the platforms worked. So every time you work with somebody, you're going to get something out of it. And early on, you might not get $50 a cake. Early on, you may only get 25. But if you do the things that we're talking about, you'll be closer to getting 50 than 25 because you won't be talking just about the cake you make. You'll be talking about what your cake allows this person to do and what it allows them to do and what it unlocks for them. That value that is created will now put them in a position to not be embarrassed. And instead of being embarrassed, they'll be revered and respected. So now let's just say woman who doesn't bake very well hires you to bake her a cake or teaches her or hires you to teach her how to bake a cake. Now, not only does she get the benefit of easier, faster with less stress, she also gets to be the centerpiece of Thanksgiving. You know, because if she made the cake, oh girl, who made this cake? Oh, this cake good. And now she gets to smile, and now she gets to hear how people are impressed with her and proud of her, and how much, um, or how far she's come. Girl, I remember them other cakes she was making. Them cakes ain't taste like nothing. I ain't want to tell you, but now, woo, you the girl, you the one. That's worth the $35 to $45. That's worth the $60. That's worth whatever it is. Because now, not only do they get the benefit of making that cake, especially if you taught them how to make the cake, they get the benefit of being able to make cakes whenever they want and get that love and get that feeling whenever they want. They get the benefit of seeing their spouse look at them with that glowing look. They get the benefit of seeing their kids for the next 25 years go, Mama, can you bake a cake? And you were giving them the opportunity to get that by working with you. You know, you give them an opportunity to put their parents at ease. Girl, I was worried, who was going to take over. And now they know who's going to take over. So they don't have to stress about it. They don't have to worry about it. They don't have to get up in the middle of the night and try to do it themselves. So again, if that is the end game, we're not worried about people in the middle hating on us and talking crazy to us, because we're only talking to people who really want it and really need it, which is the other thing that's going to kill the hate because we're not talking to haters. You know, I ain't like your post. Okay. I got 2 sales though. Now, I don't know why you shooting on the videos because that's how I keep being able to pick up the tab when we go out. You know, I don't, who cares? You know, I've been doing it. It's been working. I'm going to continue to do it. So as you do it and it works and it continues to work, you just keep doing it over and over and over and over again. And each time you'll get better at it. And you know what? As the fruit of your labor starts to grow, the people who really know you are going to be impressed and proud and no longer confused. Your parents who didn't really think this was a good idea are going to then be okay with it because it's like, oh, okay, cool. I see you. I see you shining. I see you moving in the right direction. You know? And the only thing I would ask you to ask yourself is it worth taking the time to learn how to do it properly? How motivated on a scale of 1 to 10 am I to do it and do it properly? Am I willing to go through the disappointments as I try to reach for something I've never grabbed before or not. Because if you are, then you'll stick with it, you'll do it, you'll keep showing up, you'll keep perfecting it, you'll keep getting feedback, and eventually it'll start to work. That's what that 10,000 hours that you hear people talk about is. Just I'm just gonna keep doing it, keep grinding, keep showing up for it until I get it right. You know, Steph Curry has shot thousands, probably millions of jump shots. And early on, they probably weren't going in like they are now. You know, because in the beginning, maybe he wasn't strong enough. In the beginning, maybe his legs weren't strong enough. In the beginning, maybe he wasn't able to consistently run up and down the floor, play good defense, take contact, and still make the shot. So as he was able to identify the pieces around it that he needed to adjust or improve or strengthen, it made the overall jump shot better. You know, and then he got better people around him, which is something else that we talk about, which is why this is relationships as well as marketing and sales. Because sometimes you just got to get better people around you, But again, let's just recap today so we can get out of here and you can get to reaching out to customers and you can get to shooting videos and putting your oh by the way on the end. And here's another one, outside of oh by the way, let's also go and end one more thing. And one more thing before you get off the phone, make sure you go to growingrich.com and sign up for our monthly content marketing for women training. See how easy that is? See, an offer doesn't have to be salesy. It doesn't have to be aggressive. It can be, by the way, if you're looking for someone to, after you teach them something, and if you continue to teach them something, they'll continue to tune in. If you know what they're struggling with, then you'll have something to teach about, which will then put you in a situation to end up on people's algorithms without having to boost ads. So again, that's the recap. This is step 3. Tomorrow will be step 4, which is get them to stay. You know I want you to stay. Oh baby. That's right. We're gonna get them to stay tomorrow. And with that being said, man, this is it. It's been another great day. I thank you. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to get to sit here in front of you each and every day. I really appreciate all that you guys have done to support me, encourage me, and challenge me. And I want you to keep challenging me to be clear, to be better, to do my very best to help and serve you and people like you. So again, with that being said, it's your business big bro, aka the most dangerous man in marketing, with another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for Small Business Owners and Entrepreneurs. And with that being said, have a great and wonderful day. I'm out.